Welcome to Embrace Yourself. My name is Kim, and I'm a movement specialist passionate about joy, health, and happiness. I want each of us to discover our healthiest, happiest selves. But to do that, we have to get up and move. Today, I'd like to do an exercise known as externally rotated squats. And the reason I've chosen to do this is because it really helps fire up all the muscles in the lower body. So let's get started. What you're going to do is make sure that when you rotate the feet out, external rotation just means turn the feet out instead of internally rotating, which would bring the feet in, almost as if we're going into a pigeon-toed position. Rather, I want to have those feet out and open. And what I'm looking for is that my spiraling comes out of my hip. So instead of just thinking about turning the foot out, and you'll see right here, my knee is pointed forward and my foot is out to the side. That is a recipe for pain and injury. So let's make sure that we move from our hip bones, spiral that hip out so that my hip bone is in line with that knee joint down to my second and third toe. Then I'm going to make sure that my feet are wide enough so that as I start to lengthen my spine down, and I'm thinking about dropping my tailbone towards the floor, my knees come in line with my heels. So I want to make sure I'm just wide enough that when I open, I come into that position and I don't want to feel pain in my knees. There used to be a saying back in the 80s, not that any of us were alive then, but we read about it in encyclopedias that said, no pain, no gain. No, I disagree with that. I want happy pain. I want joyful pain. I want the pain of, wow, I feel like a muscle is working, but not, ooh, that doesn't feel good, and I'm gonna have trouble coming out of it. So listen to your body as you're doing your exercises. What I like to visualize is that my tailbone is lengthening towards the floor. That's different than rotating forward. So I come into a posterior tilt and flatten my back. I don't want to do that. I want to just lengthen that tailbone down and come into my squat. So now I can drop down and I really feel my inner thighs working. I feel my outer thighs. I feel my glutes. Everything is engaging. This is where it becomes important. I want to think about squeezing my glutes to release and come out of that squat. So I love the visual of I open and I lengthen towards the floor. I'm allowing the glutes to open so that I can reach down to the floor. Then I take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, I squeeze the glutes and start to draw back up to a standing position. So we inhale and allow that body to open towards the floor. And what I'm doing is I'm opening up to accept energy out of the floor, out of the earth, and then I exhale, squeeze, and draw that energy in. And that is your external rotation squat. I love this exercise. It really works every single muscle in the lower body. And it's super easy to do. I could do it anywhere. I want to make sure that we really focus on that form and think about that lengthening of that tailbone. So instead of arching into the back and coming into an open rotation squat, I want to think about lengthening, and I'm drawing those abs in and I'm opening those legs. I'm opening the inner thighs. That's where you're going to get the feedback through the entire body. And what's so great about this, when I externally rotate, focus on those inner thighs, those adductors. It fires that fascial sling that I love from the big toe all the way up into my pelvic floor, which allows me to even draw further energy into my core when I'm coming out of the squat. So this is your exercise today. Just practice, and again, listen to your body. Make sure if you're feeling anything that does not feel like happy and joyful pain, that doesn't feel like, wow, Kim, I'm working and I'm having so much fun with you doing this. You want to listen to your body and then check in with your form. I can do anything poorly anytime. I want to make sure that my exercises that I do really well. And so I'm only doing the number of repetitions where I can really focus on the quality of my movement. So I hope you love this exercise today. You can hang out down in the squat. I tell some of my clients, I'm like, you know what? Why don't you watch television this way? You're getting a huge bang for your buck in your quads and your hamstrings and your glutes. And then I'll let you sit and watch your show by sitting this way. So it's just a little idea for you. I hope while you're in this position that you click subscribe on that YouTube channel and make sure to ding the bell so you're notified of upcoming videos. Meanwhile, you could be watching some of my old videos while you're hanging out in this squat position. I'm super excited for you to try it out, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.